Champions are created when the stands are silent. It's the choices you make behind closed doors that define you. The actions nobody else ever sees. When no eyes are on you, when there is no judgment except your own reflection, that's when it counts. You must force yourself to do the things that feel painful, whether it's pushing through extra reps, reading 5 more chapters, or writing 3 more pages. The real question is, what do you do then? Do you put in that extra work, or do you step back and quit? That decision is the great divider in life. That's what separates the common and the ordinary from the few who rise to dominate. Right now, the greatest struggle we face is self-identity. That's why social media is so addictive, because you're constantly staring at someone else's highlight reel and convincing yourself that's the perfect life. You keep saying, I want this, I want that, but you avoid testing yourself daily. Ask any soldier, they'll tell you the truth. You must stand tall like a warrior. You must present yourself like a man every single day without excuse, day after day, week after week, because the way you do one thing is exactly the way you do everything. If you don't shift your mindset toward consistency and start building habits that will shape your life, then your default will be habits you never chose. If you don't consciously decide, this is what I will do on purpose, then you will unconsciously drift. And if you're listening to this thinking you can slack off in one area, work hard in another, and still make millions, you're wrong. That's not how it works. Habits define character. Character defines values, and values define who you are. If you truly want to form powerful habits, you must focus on the small details and execute them relentlessly, over and over again. Yet most people will sit idle. They'll do nothing, then complain about their misery. The truth is hidden in repetitions. Never forget the countless repetitions you put into mastering your craft. That repetition is where fulfillment is found. That repetition is where joy lives. This is my journey. Nobody else decides what I earn. Nobody else decides how I live. Nobody else writes my life. I am not a victim. I am a victor. My journey is mine to decide, and this is also your journey. You are not a victim either. This is your path, and it can end exactly the way you choose. But you must grind for it. You can grind your way through pain, or grind your way through pressure, but you must grind. Always embrace the suck. Adapt to the suck. Greatness is not an achievement you stumble upon once. It's something you must pursue thousands upon thousands of times throughout your life. And you'll never touch greatness if you aren't in relentless, constant pursuit of it. If my mind were to say, I'm great already, then I have already lost. That's not the way. We don't settle. We don't just triple down on our strengths, we grow. We expose our weaknesses and we sharpen them until we are stronger. Growth demands friction. David, how did you become who you are today? I created friction in my life again and again, and I grew from it. Stop letting weakness slide. Stop cutting corners. Stop choosing comfort. Stop letting that soft little voice inside your head win the war that says, start tomorrow. Wait until Monday. It's not that serious. Take a break. You deserve it. Because if you don't silence that voice, you will lose everything. And when times are hardest, that's when it matters most to keep moving forward, placing one foot in front of the other. Investing in your grit, your discipline, your endurance, your fortitude, because life will never hand you perfect conditions. When I talk about freezing cold, it's because I know I must train myself to embrace discomfort, or else I become weak. When I feel myself getting soft, I force myself back into pain. That is awareness. That is sharpening the mental blade. Go look in the mirror and ask yourself honestly, how sharp is my discipline right now? When you pass by the mirror, you should see yourself and say, that's a warrior right there. Say it, believe it. Tonight, when you look at yourself in the glass, think that thought. We must recognize where we stand mentally, and we must deliberately invest in hardening our mind, so we're ready for the storms that come again and again and again every single day. Yes, it's a grind. Yes, it feels like endless sacrifice. Yes, it feels like compromise stacked on compromise. But honor that grind as a gift. See it as a challenge. See it as the chance to become a better human being, to form a stronger attitude, to develop skills, to test your mettle and discover what am I truly made of. Because if you can mold yourself into the kind of person who pushes through obstacles as they arrive, then nothing can stop you. You will win because most people simply can't endure, but you must face this truth. There is no shortcut around the work. You will not be the first human in history to succeed without sacrifice, without art, without putting in the hours. This is not optional, it is a lifestyle. You don't want to run, you run. You don't want to swim, you swim. You don't want to study, you study. That's how you reprogram your mind. That's how you condition your soul, and eventually it becomes your life. You want a guaranteed path to success? This is it, the only way. The path of building yourself into a mentally tough warrior, with relentless perseverance, unshakable discipline, and an iron will strong enough to smile when the world punches you in the face. That is who you must become. It will hurt. It will suck. It will not be fun. But every single day, do something that sucks. That's the secret. That's how you grow. Embrace the suck.